There is something about the language in the Bizet, musical language, that you just immediately find affinity with. You find that this music is not artificial. It feels as if it comes out very naturally, but when you start then seeing how it's put together, and you never also feel, even when the music is very light, you always feel that there is substance, that there is something, there's depth. What my hope is that the Orchestre de Paris, that obviously has a supreme understanding of French repertoire, will bring something to this music that I haven't heard yet. Something, and also a lot of it has to do with the way woodwind is handled. I consider him a real genius, Bizet. There are these few composers who I think clearly are in the shadow of Mozart. Bizet is one of them, Mendelssohn is the other one. Real geniuses whose music has so much individual personality, but at the same time, they are not creating any new, completely new style of music making or composition. It's all in the form of a kind of a classically established symphony. But yet, there is something that is so simple and so touching and almost equally great as Mozart. What my motivation in the beginning, and still is to take that music by Bizet and record it. Because the orchestra and I are going to have to start a certain public life together, so to speak, and creating maybe a first recording that would be Bizet would be appropriate from all angles. It would be right music because I love it, but also right music for the French orchestra. That's where my exploration starts, and I have been doing some research to see what type of music, what's in there that we don't know much about outside France. I also have talked to a lot of people in Paris and with musicians and some specialists who don't hear enough more romantic French music. This has been slightly put aside because there is a very, very important modernist school, and they're very dominant, and rightly so, because new music should be dominant. So it's sometimes easy to forget all these, maybe not the most brilliant, but very powerful composers. I mean, for example, how many times have one heard the Saint-Saëns' early symphonies in a concert hall? Okay, the organ symphony, of course, is the standard. But there is so much other music or theatre music by Roussel or you know, Chasson, for example. Or there's a lot of music, Dukas for that matter. Bizet is respected maybe as somebody who wrote Carmen, somebody who wrote some interesting theatre music and so on, but it's very often not really played in concerts. And I felt that for us, we need to start slowly looking at all those areas from César Franck, which I know people will start questioning, is it really French or not? But it doesn't matter to me. It's a French speaking, it's a French thinking. Same thing with Chasson, for example, with Dukas, and the entire sort of landscape of French romantic composers, that because of the sort of brilliance of the new music in France and the 20th century dominance of Ravel and Debussy has been pushed slightly to the background.